going on, you guys? It's Sean from Market Alert, giving you a daily market alert as to what is happening in the market. And today is another green day. We're seeing a little bit of a rally happening right now. We're seeing the S&P 500 go up. We're seeing the Dow Jones 30 go up. We're seeing NASDAQ go up. We're seeing Russell 2000 go up. We're seeing crude oil go up. And even if you look at some of these stocks here, some of them are really making some really massive headway. But I thought today, we'll take some time and talk about an industry which has really been affected by this whole coronavirus pandemic and whether or not you should actually be looking at it, because I think a few of these companies are really undervalued right now. And of course, if you read the title of this video, this is about airlines. But before I get into today's video, if you're new here, be sure to smash that like button. It really helps us with that YouTube algorithm. We're a new channel and we're just trying to post as much actionable content as possible to keep you guys updated with what is happening in the market. And also be sure to hit that subscribe button. We'll be posting more videos like this, and it'll be really great to hear what you guys are really investing in at this point in time. So let's get straight into today's video. So airline stocks, a lot of traders are talking about it, but why are they talking about it? Well, if you have a look at it, most of these companies are down quite a lot. I mean, if you just look at it, for the last month, we've seen them at their highs at about $53, and here's an example of American Airlines Group. And now we're like all the way down to like the mid $11, and it's across the board, across all these companies here. But it's like, should you really be focusing on airline stocks right now? Well, if you've seen the recent news, which is quite interesting as to what is happening, the government has certainly been helping companies such as Delta, American Airlines, JetBlue, Southwest, and these are just a few companies which have, reached a deal to secure a slice of, the $25 billion package from the Treasury Department. So that basically means that, the government has put in a ton of money into these companies right now because, as the coronavirus pandemic, not many people are buying flights right now. And even if you were to buy a flight, it's really hard to go to certain countries unless, it depends on what type of law they're passing right now. I know personally in like New Zealand, you have to be like a resident to really come back into this country. So if you're traveling, you're kind of just stuck wherever you're stuck right now, which kind of sucks, but it is their way of like securing, making sure that the lockdown process is actually in place so that we stop this pandemic from getting even worse than it actually is. So at these current prices, could this be a really good buying opportunity? I definitely think so. I mean, most of these companies have solid fundamentals, and even if you look at it the last week, they seem to be taking a bit of a bounce. However, I'm wondering whether or not they will retest the lows. So as you can see, the 30th March has been the main ticker, or the main time, I should say, when all these companies were really, really, really affected. I mean, we've definitely seen like some really lows around like the 16th to the 30th of March. These companies went all the way down and then they bounced up, and then now it seems like they're going to be retesting this. So I definitely think if it holds its support at around, where that bottom line is, I definitely think it could be a really good buying opportunity. But just be really careful at this time. Make sure that these companies are actually, partially government owned or do have a lot of funding, because if not, and if they're just like a small airline, they're really going to be affected. I definitely think that airlines right now are definitely a more safer options than buying cruise liners. Cruise lines, of course, it will do really well like later on in the future, but it's going to take a while for it to bounce back. If you look at what is more essential, would you rather like, get on a plane, or would you rather like catch a boat or a cruise, I should say? And clearly airlines are not really going anywhere. Most of these companies are government owned, like I keep mentioning over and over. I just want to express that not many companies will get government bailouts, but airlines are a pretty safe bet, and they are on a massive discount, I guess you could say that, much off their highs, like even if you just look at this chart for Southern West Airlines. So I definitely think, they're a really good time to actually be looking at it. And, most of these airlines, have some really prominent futures. I mean, if you have a look at where they were, like, a while back, a couple of years ago, you can see that, they've definitely made some massive headway. Like, of course, we're not out of the water yet, but we're seeing a little bit of green happening right now, a little bit of support, and I think as long as that support holds itself, these companies won't flop all the way to the ground. But I don't expect these companies to really go bankrupt because, airlines are very essential and crucial to going from like one country to another country. It is like basically the most effective way of traveling right now. However, in the news, we've seen like Warren Buffett, sell his massive share in Delta Airlines. So, Should you really be buying it at this opportunity? I think just give it a little bit of time. We have to see whether or not it's going to retest that support and see where it goes from there, But I definitely think right now, airlines probably the safest route to go in terms of like essential travel and essential of like a company that is fully backed by the government. And I don't really see them going bankrupt. So I definitely think it could be a really good buying opportunity at this point in time. But I'd love to hear what you guys think of airline companies. Personally, I'm looking very closely at American Airlines Group just because they have really good fundamentals. And you can see that, they're holding a lot of support here. The same with Delta Airlines, they're hovering around this thing. They're massively down. And I think there's been a lot of, press with Warren Buffett, selling his massive shares in this company, which has also pushed it a little bit more down than it should be. But, these companies really aren't going anywhere. So I'm really looking really closely at airlines, but I'm going to wait to see whether or not it retests that support and whether or not it really holds. If it holds, I will definitely be buying. But if not, I will be doing a little bit of the waiting game because, it's massively off from where it was before. But definitely a good buying opportunity in my point of view. But that's it for today's video, guys. If you like what we're doing here, again, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps us a lot. We'll be posting more videos like this, and hit that like button. And let me know, what type of airlines are you buying right now? I'll catch you guys on the next video.